Sikubingelele sikwamukele indabeni zehora lokuqala emini sibingelele nakuwe osibuka ohlelweni lwethu lusha lezokusakaza iDTT lezi ndaba nizethulelwa usakhiwo ngokosokhela naze zinohlonze emini nje.
We condemn any form of violence, of blockage, of any forceful entry in our courts.
Inkantolo yemantshi yaseRobben yaqhubeka nokulalela isicelo sebheyili sabalimi ababili abasolwa ngokushaya kanye nokudedela izinja ukuze zilume unogada waseplazini esigamekweni okusolwa ukuthi sinenhlese yobuhlanga.
All relevant entries showed, including the prison one, that he was not assaulted.
Umsesho omkhulu ecaleni lokubulawa kaSenzo Meyiwa uBrigadier Bongani Gininda uthi umsolo wokuqala nowesibili abazange baphoqwe ukwenza izitatimende zokuvuma ukuthi banolwazi ngokusocongwa kaMeyiwa. Ungqongqoshe wamaphoyisa ubheka icele nongqongqoshe ezobulungiswa uRonald Lamula sebethelekile enkantolo yemantshi yaseRobben Limpopo ukuzolalela isicelo sebheyili sabalimi ababili abasolwa ngokushaya nogada owayisebenzi sabo. uPeter Groenewald noSinga ndodana wakhe uSteven Griff basolwa ngokushaya uVeneruru Kavari oneminyaka ke engama-27 udala baphinde bamjova ngento engaziwa maqede badedela ke izinja ukuthi zimlume.
Ngaphambi kokuqala kwesicelo sebheyili sabalimi ababili enkantolo yemantshi yaseRobben ungqongqoshe wezobulungiswa kuleli uRonald Lamula unxuse izakhamuzi ukuthi zingadali uthuthuva kwazise ngesonto elidlule kwaqubuka udlame izakhamuzi zifuna ukungena ngodli enkantolo.
We want to affirm the rights of everyone to protest, to express whatever opinion they may want to express in the courts, but such protests must be done peacefully. They must be done in line with the laws of the Republic.
uLamula uqhubeke wathi udaba lokucwasa ngokobuhlanga lizodluliselwa eKhomishaneni yamalungelo abantu kwazise lokhu sekuba insakavukela eRobben.
We condemn any form of violence, of blockage, of any forceful entry in our courts. We also condemn any display of apartheid flags that invoke emotions in our country, that reminds us of the apartheid past by any grouping.
Ngesonto eledlule umbuso ubenqabele abasolwa ibheyili ngelithi uPeter Groenewald sewake waboshwa phambilini ngecala lokuzama ukubulala. Laba bobabili basolwa ngokushaya uVeneruru Kavari oneminyaka engama-27 ubudala baphinde bamjova ngento engaziwa maqede badedela izinja zabo ukuba zimlume. Icala liyaqhubeka.
Umsesho omkhulu ecaleni lokubulawa kaSenzo Meyiwa uBrigadier Bongani Gininda uthi umsolo wokuqala nowesibili abazange baphoqwe ukwenza izitatimende zokuvuma ukuthi banolwazi ngokusocongwa kaMeyiwa. Lokhu kulandela ukuthi ummeli womsolo wesihlanu uAdvocate uZandile Mshololo etshela inkantolo ukuthi labasolwa babeshaywa ukuze bavume icala kanti ke leli cala liyaqhubeka enkantolo ephakeme ehlele ePitoli.
uBrigadier Bongani Gininda uthi akazange alandelele ngezinzolo zokuthi umsolwa wokuqala washaywa enkantolo yemantshi ethembisa ngelithi abukho ubufakazi obabuqinisekisa izinzolo zakhe.
After receiving that complaint in terms of this act, this is what we are supposed to do, to report the complaint to the Independent Directorate, Police Investigative Directorate, to investigate the complaint, which was made by the accused in court.
I've testified, my lord, that there were steps that I took and clear directive that such complaint in terms of the facts, when occurred, who are the suspects, J88 statements taken, docket registered to be done. And the feedback I got was that accused one is not willing to do that. Subsequent to that, my lord, all entries, relevant entries showed, including the prison one, that he was not assaulted.
Uphinde wachitha ukuthi lo msolwa akazange ayalelwe ngamalungelo akhe ngaphambi kokwenza isitatimende sokuvuma icala.
I then asked him, obviously, after the discussion, my lord, as to whether he will be willing freely and voluntarily to make such a statement to an independent officer. That's exactly how it was, because I was aware that he's making a confession, and such confession, in my view, was being made freely and voluntarily.
Ugininda uthi-ke umsolo wokuqala wazikhethela ngokwakhe nokuyokhomba umelaphi wendabuko okuthiwa abasolwa banikela kuye emva kokusoqonga umeyiwa.
I better ask him, my lord, if he will still be willing to point out the following day. I was very specific, a witch doctor that came up in our discussion, and the answer was yes, he is willing to do that freely and voluntarily, my lord.
Licala ke liyaqhubeka enkantolo ephakeme esePitoli.
Umengameli we-ANC uCyril Ramaphosa wexwayise amalungu esigungu esiphezulu seqembu ngokuthi kungenzeka izwe laka-Israel nalabo elizwelana nabo bafuqa umkhankaso wokuchithwa kwe-ANC kuhulumeni emva kokhetho oluzobanjwa kulonyaka. uRamaphosa wethule inkulumo yokuvalwa komhlangano ilihutla ebibanjelwe eBoksburg.
Ubudlelwane phakathi kweNingizimu Afrika nelakwa-Israel bubonakala bungasebuhle emva kwesinqumo senkantolo yezobulungiswa emhlabeni. Njengoba ngolwesihlanu lwedlule inkantolo yomhlaba yayalela elakwa-Israel ngokuthi malithathe ngokusheshsha inyathelo ezibonakalayo ngokumiswa kwempi eqhubeka kwelaseGaza ePalestina. INingizimu Afrika iyona yafaka isigcawu senkantolo izwe lakwa-Israel beyisola ngokuthi ke ihlose ukuqotha imbokodo nesisekelo ngempi yaseGaza. I-ANC manje isibheke isinyathelo okungenzeka sithathwe elakwa-Israel.
The fight back may also focus on our domestic politics and our electoral outcomes in order to pursue a regime change agenda. Now, some people have said this was a David and Goliath type of contest. So we must be aware that whilst we have done what we believe was driven by our conscience and our principles.
Umengameli useqalile ukuvubela ngaphakathi umkhankaso wokhetho we-ANC njengoba egcizelele ngokukhuthaza abaholi beqembu elibusayo kanjalo nezinhlaka zonke zamadlela ndawonye ngokuthi baphume ngazinkalo zonke bakhankasele iqembu ukuze lidle umhlanganiso wokhetho.
From the east to the west, from the north to the south, every village, every township will be covered. And in the end, I know of no other organization that has the type of presence that the African National Congress has.
Inkantolo ephakeme Western Cape isichithile isicelo esiphuthumayo esifakwe i-EFF okuhloswe ngaso ukumiswa kwamalungu ayisithupha eqembu ePhalamende okubalwa ke nomholi weqembu Julius Malema. Lesicelo besizocaba indlela yokuthi lamalungu ePhalamende athamela inkulumo kaMengameli azobe ebhekise esizweni ngesonto elizayo.
Amalungu athe afumana izohlwayo abalula inkokheli yalombutho uJulius Malema, uFloyd Shibambu, uMbuyiseni Ndlozi, uMarshall Dlamini, uVuyani Phambo kwaye noSinawo Thambo. Lamalungu asa kunqunyanyiswa emsebenzini kule nyanga izayo kwaye aphinde axhuzulelwe nomvuzo walanyanga. Londo ithetha ukuba lamalungu akazokuvunyelwa ukuba angene kwintetho yobume besizwe kamongameli kwaye nakwintetho yohlahlo lwabiwo-mali yesizwe. Ipalamente isamkele isigqibo senkundla.
The EFFs imposed unreasonable time frames and they are filing on midnight before the next court day, not only inconvenience Parliament and the court, but also indicated their lack of readiness for their application to be heard. The EFF's application was dismissed with cost, and the suspension of its members is effective from Thursday, the 1st of February to the 29th of February 2024.
Amagqwetha eParlamente axelele inkundla ephakamileyo yamatyala yaseNtshona Kapa ngomvulo ukuba ezizohlwayo zifuna ukwenza umzekelo, kodwa i-EFF iye yathi esasigqibo sasiphenjelelwa yipolitiki ukuze kukhuselwe umongameli Cyril Ramaphosa.
The suspension of members of parliament from the EFF is simply to ensure that he is not held accountable for his failings. It is his last State of the Nation address, And they want him to have a peaceful one, because they think that if they suspend the commander-in-chief and president of the EFF, they are going to have a peaceful state of the nation at rest. It's not going to be possible. Members of parliament of the economic freedom fighters are going to be part and parcel of SONA.
I-EFF ithi amalungu alombutho anganqunyanyiswanga aza kuqhubeka efuna impendulo kumongameli xa ewisa intetho yobume besizwe. Xulelani Philip, SABC News eParlamente.
I-IEC KwaZulu-Natal ilungiselela ukhetho oselichazwe abahlaziyi njengoluzoba nezingqinamba okudlule zake zaba khona ngaphambilini eNingizimu Afrika. Angaphezulu kwamakhulu amathathu amaqembu ezombusazwe abhalisele ukungenela ukhetho likazwelonke. Lesibalo asikabafaki laba abazongenela ngokuzimela.
Ukhetho lweNingizimu Afrika lwesikhombisa kulindeleke ukuthi libanjwe phakathi kukaNhlaba noNcwaba kulonyaka. I-IEC ithi kunezinguquko ezinqala okhethweni lwakulonyaka. I-IEC ithi ukubhaliswa kwabavoti kuzoqhubeka kuze kumenyezelwe usuku lokuvota.
Kuyovala ukurejista ngosuku upresident eyoshicelela ngalo usuku lokuvota kwiGovernment Gazette. Njengamanje silindele ukuthi kungenzeka alimemezele njoba kuzoba ne-State of the Nation address ngomhla ka-8 February.
Amaqembu angamakhulu amathathu abhalisele ukungenela ukhetho azwakala njengento ezoba umqansa, kodwa ke akusho ukuthi wonke azogcine evelile okhethweni. I-IEC izoqiniseka ukubhalisa kwabantu naseyindaweni ezisemakhaya.
Ilindela ukuthi ama-ballot paper azoba mathathu. Kungenzeka kube i-ballot paper ende enamagama abantu noma kube i-ballot paper emfishane kodwa ebhalwe emasayidini amabili. So noma ngabe ibhalwe emasayidini amabili ukhetha kanye i-ballot paper ne-ballot paper ukhetha kanye kuphela.
Ikhomishana yezokhetho ithi intsha kumele iqhuquzelwe ukuba ibhalisele ukuvota.
We are convinced that once the election date is known, it will trigger a lot of people to action because people get excited once they know what the election date is.
Uma umuntu ogunyaziwe ukuba angaba yingxenye yokhetho engalithola ithuba lokuyobhalisela ukuvota esikhungweni esiseduze naye, engabhalisela online ku votes@elections.org.za.
Mbukeli sathi iqwetolo kanti masibuya sokuphathela udaba oluthi
clear information, clear directions. What clear directions from the emergency service on how to cope, what we should be doing, where we should be.
Izakhamuzi zasePringle Bay kumasipala waSilver Strand ziyalelwe ukuba ziliflathela amakhaya ke azo ngokusheshsha ngenxa yomlilo oqhubekayo nokucekela phansi izakhiwo nemvelo. Sikubingelele sikwamukele mbukelo mangabe usanda ngena odabeni oluhambe phambili besibike ukuthi inkantolo yemantshi yaseRobertsdal iyaqhubeka nokulalela isicelo sebheyili sabalimi ababili abasolwa ngokushaya kanye nokudedela izinja ukuze zilume unogada waseplazini esigamekweni okusolwa ukuthi sinenhlese yobuhlanga. Mbukela sikukhumbuza ukuthi lezi ndaba zikhona ku YouTube na ku SABC Plus, ngena kuzo uzicinge ngamagama athi SABC izindaba na kanjani uzozithola. Babuyele enkantolo ephakeme yaseThekwini izolo abasolwa ngokubhebhethekisa izibhelu zango-2021 njengoba bebhekene namacala okubulala kanye nokugqugquzela udlame. Abasolwa ababili kwabangama-65 abazange balibhade enkantolo, yize oyedwa ethumele incwadi ebalula ukungaphili kwakhe kanti omunye inkantolo imkhiphele incwadi egunyaza ukuthi aboshwe. Umbuso uthi laba abasolwa ke bagqugquzela ngokugqugquzela udlame ngenhloso yokufakela izikhulu ingcindezi yokuthi zidedele owayengumengameli uJacob Zuma.
Abamangalelwa bangu-65 baphakathi kweminyaka ngu-29 no-62, iningi labo ngelakwaZulu-Natal kanti abanye abase-Gauteng nase-Free State. Libhekene noxhaxha lwamacala kuhlanganisa netulo lokuqumba phansi umbuso elokususa uthuthuva emphakathini netulo lokubulala. Umbuso uthi bonke laba baboshwa ngaphandle linye ngokuthi kusukela ngomhla ka-8 kuya 15 kuNtulikazi ngonyaka u-2021 bahlanganisa itulo lokuphazamisa umnotho nokucekela phansi inqalasizinda. Uqhubeka umbuso uthi abaseka lo engumengameli ngaphambilini uJacob Zuma kuhlanganisa nabamangalelwa becanulo ukuboshwa kwakhe bavuka umbhejazana badala uthuthuva bayitapela nokudla ezitolo ngemuva okuhlela okwakwenzeke einkundleni zokuxhumana WhatsApp.
The conspiracy to commit murder has to do with basically the judgment that was made with regards to the former president and the events that unfolded thereafter.
Umbuso ukholwa ukuthi abamangalelwa bazojeziselwa izono zabo.
And we intend on putting our best case forward, and in the hope that we will win the case. Entirely at the end of the day, it is the presiding officer, which will be the judge in this case, that will rule on that, but the state is hopeful that we will be successful in this case.
Abamangalelwa babili bakabathola abameli. Kulindele ukuthi lolu daba libuyele enkantolo enkulu yaseThekwini ngasekuqaleni kukaMbasa. Eyindabeni za SABC nginguvusi Khumalo eThekwini.
Owake waba usihlalo we-ANC Western Cape uMarius Fransman sethule iqembu lakhe elisha iPeople's Movement for Change iPMC ezongenela ukhetho zobanjwa kulonyaka.
iPeople's Movement for Change ibonise ngenkokheli zayo eziza kukhokela eliqela ukuya kunyulo. Ezinkokheli zithi zenziwe ngabantu abaphuma kwiinkonzo, iinkokheli zemveli kunye nemibutho yasekuhlaleni. Benenjongo yokulungisa iimeko zangaphambili ezashiya ingxwelerha.
And we are saying it's time that those people that actually were there centuries ago, that we call the First Nation, that we live to it. And hence, we're going into the Northern Cape to reclaim the Northern Cape for the First Nation.
Amanye amalungu athi kudala ekwelidabi iminyaka kwaye ahambe ejoin amaqela ezopolitiko aliqela aphinda lahle ngenxa yeyantlukwano. Sebesuka kwimaqela anjenge-National Party eyabhangayo aya kwi-ANC, iDA kunye neGood phakathi kwamanye. IPMC inethemba leziphumo ezincumisayo kolunyulo luzayo eNtshona Koloni, isithi iza kuba liqela lesibini ngobukhulu. Dingilulama Matya wendaba ze-SABC eKapa.
Inyuvesi yaseLimpopo isixwayise abafundi ukuba baqaphele ngesikhathi sokubhalisa kwalonyaka. Abafundi abazokwenza unyaka oqala kanye nabazali kwesinye isikhathi bayaqolwa ezikhungweni eziphezulu ngalesikhathi. Inyuvesi yaseVenda itho kwamanje bebengekabi nazo igameko ezibikiwe. Izikhulu ziqinise zokuphepha ngokubhalisa online kulandela ukuqolwa ngesikhathi sokubhalisa ke abafundi ngonyaka odlule.
Ukubhaliswa kwabafundi abazokwenza unyaka oqala abangaphezulu kwezikhulungwane ezintathu kuyaqhubeka. Inyuvesi iqinisekise ukuthi abukho ubugebengu obenzakalayo obubhekiswe kubafundi emva kokuthi kwahamiswa izisebenzi ngonyaka odlule ezazifuna ukufunjathiswa imali ukuze zamukele abafundi enyuvesi.
We issued out a statement cautioning prospective students not to fall victims of the scams. And we continue to discourage our prospective students, including parents and guardians, to be very cautious.
Inyuvesi ithi izindawo zokuhlala ezingaphakathi kanye nezingaphandle ziphephile.
If that student could have been standing here without a place to stay, but we make sure that student is safe and well fed.
There is no student who was taken outside to sleep outside. I can bet on that, not on our watch.
Inyuvesi yaseLimpopo isikiphe umyalelo ukuthi abafundi bonyaka wokuqala baqaphele bangaqolwa. Onokata ke benyuvesi baqaphe ngelokhozimu.
We have beefed up our security to ensure that we don't have disruptions and we don't create an impression that we are providing a service here on campus.
Okwamanje bangamaphesenti angama40 abafundi abazokwenza unyaka wokuqala asebebhalisile enyuvesi yaseLimpopo. Inyuvesi yaseVenda ikwazile ukubhalisa abafundi abangaphezulu kwezinkulungwane ezimbili okwamanje.
Izakhamuzi zasePringle Bay kumasipala wase-Overstrand ziyalelwe ukuba ziflathele amakhaya azo ngokushesha ngenxa yomlilo oqhubekayo nokucekela phansi imvelo kanye nenqalazinda endaweni ezakhele lapha.
Lo mlilo uqale ukuthungeleka ezintabeni kodwa manje usucekele phansi ezinye izakhiwo ezisedolobheni iPringle Bay.
It's best to evacuate. We obviously are a little bit concerned because there are many people that have holiday homes here and that actually don't live in this area. And similarly, people are still at work. It is problematic for us. We are grateful for the support from the City of Cape Town, George Municipality, Swartland Municipality and Hesekwa Municipality, because on our own we just can't do this.
Izakhamuzi ziphoqeleke ukuba ziqoqe izimpahla ezimqoka ziflathele ngokushesha amakhaya azo kanti kusetshenziswe ihholo lomphakathi eliseduzane neClaymont njengendawo yokufihla ikhando kwesikhashana.
Clear information, clear directions, what clear directions from the emergency service on how to cope, what we should be doing, where we should be, how we can best assist others, not just ourselves, to make it easier. How we can assist the emergency services in their duties as well.
Abacimi mlilo bayaqhubeka nokuqapha isimo kule ndawo.
Luphezulu uhwebo lerandi emakethe namhlanje. Lingu 18 rand 69 cents uma liqhathaniswa nedola lasemelika libe ngu 23 rand 72 cents kupondo kanti lingu 20 rand 23 cents kwi-euro. Ipula laseBotswana libiza 1 rand 37 cents. Isephansi inkomba yezabelo JSE. Igolide libiza $2,040 i-ounce, eplatinum yona ibiza $925 i-ounce, u-oil ongahluziyo ibiza $82.21 umphongolo. Beyibhalwe emehlweni injabulo kubalandeli bebafana bafana emva kokuthi leli qembu lakuleli liguqise iMorocco ekheliswe phezulu ezwenikazi iAfrika esigabeni somkhumula jeziko yeAfcon izolo kusihlwa. Leli qembu elicijwa ngoHugo Bros linqobe ngamagoli amabili eqandeni eSan Pedro eIvory Coast.
Just making it to the round and playing Morocco would have been a great honor, let alone beating them 2-0. I mean, the whole country is feeling a great jubilation.
The first half was boring. Second half, after we scored the goal, the game became more intense. But we didn't stop and we won. Yeah, I'm happy the boys won.
Us as South Africans, we know we had no hope for Morocco. But my beautiful wife at home, said, nah, just have some hope. And I had hope. It happened to we won.
Given the stature of their players, that they are playing in big leagues in Europe. So I thought, no, we are not going to make it this time.
Mbukeli umhlahle wesimo sezulu yalandela emva kwekhefu. Mbukeli sizibeka lapho ke ezihora lokuqala emini siyabuya futhi ngehora lesikhombisa sobe sagiya ngalo likaMageba ekosokhelela inkosazana uManzuzu umshazi kanoyishada kaMaqhoboza kuze kube ngokuzayo usale kahle.